Good morning, class. Today we're going to talk about precursors to faith here on PUP News. This is precursors to Islam. They were early religions such as Zoroastrianism, Judaism, and Christianity. There was Avesta, which did the Laura Mazda. Angry, I can't read that. They were co-equal. They believed in future judgment. They believe in good thoughts, words, and deeds. There are three sections: the Yasna, the Yasht, and the Vidava. There were certain attributes to the Avesta. Top God. There was a top God. There was light. There was a creator. God was made of light. He was a creator. He was a moral judge. So it was dualism to only two gods. God surrounded them, and it was viewed as being ethical. Now the Quran. This was involved with things that the Avesta believed. There was Adam, there were animals, Adam gave his rib, and Eve was born. The fall of man, they believed, was caused by the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which caused free will. They blamed the serpent and Eve. Adam and Eve were ashamed, and it led to their death. God's response was, "Where are you?" He blamed them. He forgave them, and then cursed their family. But next came Abraham. Now, Abraham was known as the father of many. He was born in Ur. He raised livestock. He had two sons, named Isaac and Ishmael. They were descendants, and he taught faith and obedience. Beyond Abraham were the Mesopotamian shepherds who had a famine and gave rise to Moses. Moses was a pharaoh. He was placed. Moses was the son of the pharaoh's daughter, I think. He was placed in a basket, went downwind, found by his sister, became a prince with his mother, lived with his mother. He fled. God spoke to him. He returned. He delivered the Ten Commandments to his people and set his people free. Next, the Hebraic Golden Age, from 100 to 900 BC, 1000 to 900 BC, involved David and Solomon. It involved the invention of songs and literature. It was wealthy, and Solomon's idolatry eventually caused the end of this era as God's wrath was brought down upon his people. Then there was the two kingdoms of Israel. There were 10 tribes. There were evil kings. In 722, the Assyrians came and fought, and no descendants were left. Then Christianity was invented in 444 BC to 14 AD. And this told the story of Jesus of Nazareth. So while the Jewish Avesta taught about Abraham and Moses, Christianity taught more about Jesus. Jesus was born during the Roman occupation under Caesar Augustus. He was thought to be the Messiah. He was born. Mary and Joseph were told of his arrival by the angel Gabriel. He was born in Bethlehem. There were lots of taxes, and he was born in a stable. His ministry consisted of disciples, healings, feedings, and preaching. The general reaction to him was that the public ministry was angered. Religious leaders and the Romans feared him. He was then crucified. He was betrayed by Judas. At the Last Supper, he named Judas as a traitor. The Roman courts and the Pharisees tried him. The Roman courts tried him. The Pharisees, who were able to free him, did nothing. He was sentenced. The basic tenets of Christianity were faith, sacrifice, works and deeds, baptism, communion, offering, and prayer. And the creation story in the Torah, which is the Old Testament, so the man was made in 7 days. The universe was created in 7 days. Man was made out of clay, and woman was made out of man. There was heaven and earth, there was light and dark. There were animals, the tree of knowledge, free will. There was a curse, and the fall of man brought on by a serpent. But the creation story in the Quran differs again. They believe the week was started on a Saturday, and ended on a Friday. Believe man was made out of clay. Eve was absent at first. The Ibers refuses to recognize God. He brought the elevation of Adam, who was not seeking the knowledge of good and evil. He brought kindness, and he had the Kaaba. Abraham in the Torah was a descendant of Adam. He was the father of many, faith being promised. He was chosen from nothing. He wasn't told his destination. Isaac was chosen as a sacrifice, and then the angels held Abraham's hand. But in the Quran, it's slightly different. Ishmael was the chosen one. Abraham was a pagan. Ishmael built a Kaaba. He made sure voices would be heard. And there's something about the well of Zamzam. In Moses' story in the Torah, he delivered the Ten Commandments. He redeems his people from slavery. He wanders in the desert for 40 years. He's the writer of the Pentateuch. And his heart hardens. In Pharaoh's heart hardens, does not let his people go. Moses, the story of Moses in the Quran says that slavery was in Egypt. The priests tell Pharaoh to listen to Moses. The Pharaoh tells him to please go. Moses delivers the tablet of law, and it tells the story of the incredible holiness of God. Jesus in the Bible is both the Son of God and God. He is the Messiah. He was born through the Immaculate Conception, crucified. He told the message of God's love and peace, told of forgiveness, preached faith, and performed miracles. In the Quran, though, he's a prophet. He's not a god, because God cannot have sons. He was born of a virgin. The crucifixion was actually not Jesus who got crucified, and thus there was no resurrection. And Muhammad finally enters the picture. The Hebrew tradition is firmly entrenched around his people. Zoroastrianism is on the decline, and Christianity has been expanded. Thank you, that's all.